Most couples are having arguments. Like we've seen a lot of people coming to us and saying, you know what, I want to live in Zimbabwe. I want to go back to Zimbabwe, but my wife or my husband doesn't like to. I'm sure there is some of you who are right here watching who are experiencing the same. So what we did is that we have decided to make a video. I am going to be backing the rural life and she will be the town person. And we want to look at the advantages of living there versus advantages of living this side. And if you think like there can be disadvantages of being in the rural, you tell me and I tell you also the disadvantages of living in town.
Okay.
So are we together, guys? So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you listen to the points. If you have more points to add on this one, please do. Because I've seen so many people like comments flooding. Some people don't even like to be in the rurals. Some people hate town life. So
Yeah.
I don't know which side are you? Are you on the town side or you're on the village side? So right, I am gonna be the rural side and she's gonna be on the town side. So first thing that we want to check is the cost of living in Zimbabwe, right here in the rural. How much does it cost to pay for rentals right here where living is free? How much is it to live in town?
Okay. Obviously, town life, you have to pay for rentals, but then you have an advantage that you're closer to like supermarkets and all of that.
Okay. In most cases, like, you know what, in the rural, we don't have to grow stuff in the rural. Like, we don't have to buy stuff. We can grow our own
But then
vegetables.
there's still items that you need from the city, like from the town, from the
Yes,
shops.
but we can go and buy in town and then come back and
still
still
a disadvantage.
traveling disadvantage. I think
Exactly.
that I accept.
And another point that I can bring is that in town, obviously, most roads are better than the roads that you'd find in the rurals. So I can say that you would have better roads in town than in the village.
Looking at, like, pointing it at Zimbabwe to be specific. Honestly, guys, the roads are bad in town. So your point, you're losing it. Roads in Zimbabwe in town, most of them, they are very bad. And you know, guys, if you know Harare, I've been traveling in Harare. What do you know? Like when you go to those locations,
Okay,
unless
that's in
you
locations. Okay,
Mhm.
I get you. You have a point. But then, let's talk about accessibility to healthcare.
I think, yeah.
You are at a disadvantage if you are in the rurals. And I think you had something like you had an experience of a family member that you mentioned that passed away because they could not get help in time. So if you're living in the city, you're obviously closer to clinics, to hospitals, and all of those facilities.
Okay.
So,
That is a point. I understand and I take that point. But let's move on the things like happening in Zimbabwe when it comes to just buying land.
Okay.
Well, buying land in towns, guys, town land is really expensive. And you know what you get in the rurals. Some of the land that you get right here in the rural is actually free. Like you just go to your families, everyone is somewhere where they come from. You can get free land there. And if you are to pay, maybe if it is a sub land, obviously to be very cheap, you'll be able to afford. Almost anyone can afford to have somewhere where they call my house, my home. Not in town, my friend. It's not easy. You rent until you die. Most people are renting. It's like there's an 80-20 rule. 20% owns the houses in town.
Yeah.
80% are renting. So it's a very big disadvantage. Imagine renting someone's house, like you can't even develop it.
Yeah.
You can't even like just wake up and say, now today I want to open another door that goes this way. Because you'll be renting. So honestly, that comes as a big one. You are renting, you are paying someone every month, me living freely. And you know what? Moving on to the next one. It's actually the type of structures that you can build in town.
Yeah, I know that town limits you in terms of structures, but then those structures, I feel like they will last longer in a way because they are approved
My
by a
friend,
certain council and all.
that doesn't really matter. We have houses that are lasting years and years in the rural.
Baby.
Like
In town, those things are you can't just build anything.
Yes,
you
but
want.
those standards sometimes they will limit you from doing things that you want. Is from
Like, okay, let's see. Here at Kumusha, you can have someone saying they built without a proper foundation. Do you know that? So you can't do that in town.
okay. Let's leave that. I understand. You're right. Right. Let's talk about the land that you get. It's even very small. Look at like right here, guys. We built our cottage right here where we are in right now. Our 2-roomed cottage right here, and we had to go miles. We take an Uber to go to the kitchen, my friend.
Okay,
Just to go to the bathroom. I mean, you need to request for in drive to get to the bathroom. Why? Because we've plenty space.
But that's also another disadvantage. Like in terms of structure, it's very it's a big disadvantage, especially when it's raining. Imagine you have to think about going to the kitchen when it's raining. When it's raining, how are you gonna go to the bathroom?
But like that's a fixable one. Like we still can build a house that has a kitchen inside. Even people are watching, they can afford to have a kitchen inside their house. So that can be counted as a problem. It's something that we can bring right here in the rural. But imagine the amount of land that you are probably getting at a high price. I saw some land being sold at 22,000 US dollar for a 200 square meters in Harare. That was called Renam Park down there.
Okay, it's fine. That's okay. But then another
Wait. That's $20,000. You can build everything and everything and build your nice house and do a lot of developments. You can actually use 10,000 to do some developments and then another 10 you can buy yourself a car to travel to the market and come back. Okay, tell me your point.
Okay, my point is exposure. Most of the people that you'll be surrounded with in the rurals, depending on where you are, they are a bit behind in terms of what's happening out there, in terms of hustles. Like they're just people who are living without really much goals. I'm not like okay, the people that I've been around kind of. They're just living for we just want to find something to eat and that's it. So
That is true about the
you
rural.
don't have any competition and you also somehow lose motivation because you feel like you've made it because of the surrounding that you have. But
It
then
makes
now
you
if
feel
you're
like you
living
have achieved it.
exactly.
Everything.
But then now if you're living in the city,
Competition.
you have competition. You would want to build you would see that
Motivation.
exactly. In cities you see someone building a 12-roomed house because the neighbor built a 12-roomed house. That's because of competition. But here you won't feel the motivation to build a bigger house because the
Nobody
neighbor
has
well, nobody has it. And your neighbor will even have a house that's worse than yours, so you wouldn't have that motivation to build
But
that bigger house.
Let-
Even buying a car. I'm telling you, you would be surrounded with people whereby if you want to find a household with a car, it's very, very rare to find.
everyone will be like checking whenever a car passes
Exactly.
because it's not something that happens every 2 minutes. And again, in town,
But
they
now
don't even
in town, having a car doesn't matter. It's now about competing to buy the best car or the latest car.
care. Right, you're right on that. But let's look at things that really matter. It's an advantage to someone who is living outside the country who wants to come back. Those people already have the exposure. You know, like they can't be. I mean, they can't be pushed, not or they can't be like limited to motivation, or they can't be limited to exposure. Someone who has already stayed outside of the country, if they come to the rural, they can still succeed. Why? Because they do not look at the next person who is around them. They do not focus on the person who is already living in the rural, and they do their own thing, and they can still move on with their life and do great for themselves.
I get you.
And you know, like there's this thing that I wanted to talk about that happens in our towns, especially right here. The developments, like some places are not well developed. I mean, where you would even buy your land, floods are happening like in Harare. You'll find a place flooding. You have bought a stand, but there's no well drainage. Those roads, they do not have the drainage that is. The drainage system is very bad. the places start flooding. You find water at this level in your house.
That also happened
Coming back
in
to
Rurals.
no, never. You will
What's
find this.
happening in Mashing right
It's
now?
very rare. No, it's not flooding there.
What's happening there now?
It's too wetty.
How are those houses breaking down?
It was just because the land was too wetty. The reason why it cannot really happen in the rurals of in most rurals is because like we do like we farming around our places, so we are able to keep that water that comes. It doesn't just run off all of it. By cultivating the fields, we make the water sink in instead of just like running over, like it happens in town. In towns, there are some pavements and all that. There's some tarred roads, so water do not really have a place to sink in, and the roads that cars are always running over, the water will be running. And imagine if the drainage system is bad, because a lot of people will find a stand for 40,000-20,000, but the drainage system is very bad, and you have to hire a what do you call it, a boat to go home coming from work. You need a boat, guys.
You're not being romantic.
Some of the areas, this is what is happening. You find a place very like flooding like this, where you can't even. But you have spent almost $100,000, and you're just happy because you're living in town. Honestly, guys. Okay, tell me what else is better about your town.
I still choose town because you have access to more schools than in the rural. You have access to private schools and all of the schools that are competing out the competitive schools. So, I don't know. Do you guys have it here in the rural?
Yeah, I think it's quite limited. Yeah, it's really quite limited in terms of schooling. There's not really much schools in the rurals, obviously, and I understand that. But
except defeat. Don't say but. Just
I think that one I'm defeated.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Do you have any other point or
yes,
that's
I
all?
do.
Because I have a lot for you.
I do.
Okay. What else is better?
Okay, you have more opportunities, like business opportunities and all of that, when you are in the city. Because not everyone is like us, eh? Remember, we are.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you're in town? For us,
at least you can. It's easier for you to get a job when you're in town than when you're staying in the rurals. How are you going to travel to it?
But do you know that when you're in the rural, it's easier to start your own business instead of getting a job? Because when you're in town, you are more like you're living fast life.
Yes.
Life is too fast in town.
Getting job opportunities is easier for someone who's in town.
Yes, but you don't get a job in the rural, you create jobs in the rural. You start your project.
We are talking about, let's talk about our community. How many people are doing their own projects?
Right, we're talking about in this case we have audience of people who have exposure. Being able to be on YouTube watching a video.
Okay, are we talking about you guys now? Are we talking about people?
They are the people that are living what we're talking about.
Okay, it's fine.
So they know what I'm saying. If they are to choose, most of these people watching, they're in the diaspora, they're not in Zimbabwe. Because data is a bit expensive in Zimbabwe. Not everyone affords data in Zimbabwe. And if you are watching here and you're in Zimbabwe, please let us know. You are very rich. Most people, honestly, guys, I saw people saying that to pay for smart for you at $30, it's expensive.
Yeah, very expensive for them.
So if you are someone that affords data at any time, in Zimbabwe they consider that you are rich.
True.
Because a highest percentage of people are not able to watch us on YouTube. Why? Because they don't have data to do so. So that happens in town, even in the rural. So I would highly suggest to be in the rurals. Why? Because I can start my own livestock project. I can start my own piggery.
Okay.
Can you start a piggery in town? Can you just start and say,
buy meat? You will buy meat.
Everything you're buying.
We'll be working, so obviously we have money to buy things.
Imagine, how much can you work for? Here in Zimbabwe, think
200
about
and
that.
something.
Imagine how much is life in town. Let's just calculate how much you need for you to live in town.
Okay.
Rentals, how much can you pay for rentals in town?
It depends on the area, but like
If you're
maybe
paying rentals,
at least $100.
$100
For
for
a
rentals.
room.
Okay. Yeah, maybe with a kitchen or something.
Yeah,
Let's just say that
yeah,
for
$100.
rentals, and then we'll be
Then-
free. This side we use that $100 to buy meat. That you said, we're not buying meat because we'll be keeping our own chickens and all that. We're not gonna use it there. We'll use it somewhere else. We'll pay for internet.
Okay.
So we've already passed that. Then what else? You have your rentals. You have to pay for water in town. Remember?
Okay, I'll put water and electricity
120
on
or 130.
130 for water and electricity.
I mean for both.
You can't be that much. Maybe on like $60.
Yeah, that's what I
Out
mean.
of my
So
salary?
$160
No.
water and electricity
Electricity.
out of your $200. Did you see GB?
Okay, let's make it $350.
Okay, it's fine. You're earning
Oh,
$350.
yes.
I don't know. Maybe that's what a teacher is probably earning, right?
Yes, I'm a
Then you pay your rentals for $100.
Then water and electricity is $60.
Mm-hmm.
Then
160.
food, let's put it at
You're left with the 200 and
it's
it's 190, right?
Yeah. Then we can buy food for like $100.
Food.
Yeah.
And
And that would be limited.
right. You pay your rentals, you pay for your water. Did you talk about electricity?
Yeah. But now I'm not seeing with this case. Was also calculating.
We don't even know. Like we're talking about individuals in this case.
But baby, we must calculate my husband's salary also there.
No, do you know that is 350 you're talking about? If you bring it right here in the rural, it can make us live a very comfortable life. If we use that rental money that you're talking about, the $100, we can live a very comfortable life using our solar, our electricity, our solar electricity.
But
We
then-
don't need to be on grid.
But then also living off grid. You know, there are days where it's gonna be raining throughout.
Yes, but you know our solar system, these type of solars can still generate the power whilst it's raining. As long as it's daytime, they can still generate power. You see them even like they will still be working even after sunset. Yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
that
Let's
comes
say
as
you
a-
win in that aspect, but then I feel like city life, you have more entertainment also. That's another thing. Do you know here it gets lonely?
What entertainment? Give me an example.
You can go out to restaurants. You can go to
Spending money.
Actually, now I'm on
You have a lot of spending of money spending over and over here and there. 2 minutes
go
you're spending money.
shopping
2
with
minutes you're spending
friends,
money.
Go to the park, go for walks, go to the gym. It's
So you're spending money on gym, you're spending money on your shopping, spending money on what do you call this? On restaurants. As entertainment is not free in town again. So which means that like it needs you to be generating a lot.
I can have a side hustle from the salary.
Wait. You know, the more money needed, the more work needs to be done.
That's what I'm saying. I can have
You
side
end
hustles.
up spending the whole day at work and not even enjoying the town that you're talking about. If you have a job, because jobs are even scarce in this town that we're talking about. We are in Zimbabwe, my friend. So honestly, guys, I don't know how you see this thing, but from my point of view, I think living in town needs you to have money.
You have better network. in town.
Network. We still have our Starlink and very.
No, we're not
Let
talking about
me
us that have
wait.
Starlink.
Don't say about us. They have Starlink. These people, they are ordering Starlink. We are installing a lot of people's Starlinks at their houses. You guys are installing Starlink. Remember, we install Starlink. We travel anyway, installing your Starlink. So don't say they don't have internet. They have internet access. They have exposure. These people. So, and us too, we do have it. And do you know one thing? In town right now, guys, in Harare, there is a lot of people who installed Starlink internet. And right now the speeds are very slow if you are living there. And us this side, outside of Harare, we have better speeds. So you still have a very slow internet, or you choose to buy any other local internet that can be very expensive because they just wake up and choose the amount to charge per month for a Wi-Fi.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, let's say you get that point. What else? Networking opportunities. You get more networking opportunities in town than when you are in the rural. Who are you gonna network with? Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Thank you so much. I got that.
yeah, there's less networking
There's
in the
less
rural
networking.
because you've been
The
networking with poor.
networking-
Most people are very poor in the rural. You've been
Guys,
networking with poverty, honestly, in the rural. I understand on that.
the people that you network with, yeah, it's you are basically the boss or the murungu.
They always want something from
They always want something from you, and
Expect
they
a
have
lot.
nothing to offer. Either they want you to do something for you,
or spend the whole day at
spend the
your
whole
house
day
doing
at your
nothing.
house doing nothing, just talking
Yeah, I understand on that.
without any protection.
But
So that one, you lost that point.
But you know what? We create great communities in the rural, like relationships. It's good for
You know,
relationships.
no,
You
for
have people that remembers you. You have people that can give you salt if, in case you don't have.
You know, today someone
like in
actually
town.
brought a whole packet of Nemo for me, like
Ground nuts.
groundnuts. Yes, that was
Mm.
so sweet. Like,
Just for free.
yeah.
You didn't pay for it?
And what else did I get from there? Got mangoes and stuff. Like,
For free.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's
People
what
can just give you vegetables just for free.
fine then.
See, this is what's good about the communities in the rurals. They are well connected. You know what? In the rurals, we are well connected with even the village head. The village head promised to give me some, what do you call it? The loan. They have loan at their house. They promised to give me some. You can just come and collect for free. No money talks there. In the rurals, guys, we don't talk about money, but in towns, if you come to my house, you want something, you're gonna tell me how much is your budget, my friend. Nothing is really free. If you want to rent my shovels, you're gonna have to pay for that shovel. If you want my wheelbarrow in town, I mean, you're gonna have to pay. But in the rurals, they will give you for 6 months and forget.
Yeah, what happened to the other wheelbarrow that you had?
It's right up there. It's
We had
broken.
two. Oh, it's broken. Oh, okay. I was
Someone
thinking
just
about-
gave us.
Is
They
it?
just brought it. It's not ours, right?
Oh.
It's not even ours. I don't even know who owns that. But it's still here. It's been years
But we
since we
have our
started
own.
building.
We have two, right? So I was like,
Yeah, because we didn't have first. We bought it later.
okay.
We bought our own later. The first wheelbarrow that we had is still here. Someone just gave us. I feel like it's from the next door. They left it here and it's still there.
No, it's broken.
And the other next door, you know what they told me, guys? Another next door of ours borrowed, like from the village. They borrowed, what do you call the machine? What do you call this machine? The pump, the water pump. They borrowed that water pump, I think years ago. And it's still there where they borrowed it. And the village head today, he was talking about getting it back to his house after years. And it's even now broken. It's no longer working. He still just he was like just wanting a part, he said in part out of that. So this is what happens with like living in the rural, guys. They would trust or even like they would trust people with their stuff. Someone just gave us a solar panel. Keep that solar panel.
Yeah, the ones that we were using when we were still having our old system.
Yeah.
We were using a solar panel from someone.
From next door.
I was shocked when Shelton said he didn't buy that solar panel. I was like,
He
ah,
just gave us.
how are
You can
using
keep it for
someone's-
now until maybe we
And
need
I
it.
think on the day that we even got our solar panel, what did I say? I was like, return people's thing immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, please, you need to take it back.
That is an advantage of being in the rural, guys. We have internet connection here, so that is no longer a thing to even talk about.
It's okay.
We can still have our lights here. We can still have our electricity here. What else is in town?
Pizza. Foodies.
Access to fast food. These fast foods, some people in America are busy trying to to teach us why you should not be taking this
That's
fast
in
food.
America, baby.
We visit once in town and we eat that food that is junk food. Junk food is not needed in daily basis.
Okay,
We
okay,
visit
it's
town
fine.
once in a week or two. We buy our junk food. We do not depend on it,
What
and we
about
eat our
ice
good
cream?
food this side.
Access to ice cream.
I feel like most people who thinks much about town life and who loves much about town life, those people do not think about their future there.
But then,
Especially
okay,
if you don't own.
okay. Let's talk about this thing, like future investments. So, like, I feel like if you have a house in town, you have an asset, right? That asset that can accumulate because a house appreciates rather than to depreciate, right? So now, if you have your house that's like 50,000 or worth fifty
That's a
thousand
point.
now, in 10 years to come, in 20 years to come, that amount would have even the worth of that
Double.
house would have even doubled. So I feel like that's a point that you have to take into consideration because there's no way I'm gonna come to the rurals and buy a house for 70K. No
Right.
way.
Okay.
Even if you build your big mansion and you tell me, "Oh, I'm selling this land
Okay,
and whatever," I will never buy it.
let me carry you slowly on that one. You are very right. Houses in town, they accumulate in value
Exactly.
and not in the rurals.
Exactly.
I don't think that even happens in the rural, but there's something that happens in the rural.
Yeah.
The land that we buy, as I told you, we have more free land in the rurals.
Yeah,
The projects that
I
we're
know
doing.
it's
Wait. Give me a point. I was listening. Those projects, my friend. Let me be even specific. The amount of money that we paid on this land, the way we are right now, we should get it in one season. Back. And we will make more out of the same land. Which means that by the end of that, whatever that you say 20 years, what?
There's no way you would
The
have
same
made that.
land can even buy you that house in town. But not a rentals can do that. Rentals in Zim cannot do that for you.
Yeah.
In Zim, some people, I heard someone yesterday telling me in town saying that this next door of mine is not paying rent. They said they do not have this month. They understand. This side they understand. The landlords are very good in understanding. Some of you guys who own houses, do you have this experience of people who would say, things are a bit quite hard this month, I don't have money.
You have to understand.
And you have to understand because it's gonna be difficult to get the next person who is gonna enter that room. So honestly, guys, I still choose rural, and that rural that do not accumulate in value. And how I choose it, I would choose not to build a mansion, but just build what's good enough. I would choose to build that mansion in town where it accumulates in value, and keep those little stuff that we can have in the rural, then generate money with the little we can have in the rural.
That makes sense. You have better transport systems in town. There's no way that you want to go to Mashunga and then you take a bus or something from here in the rurals. You have to go to town first. Not even just town. You have to go to Harare for you to go to Mashunga from here.
Better transport systems, which means that you guys have better transport. You're close to combis and all that.
Exactly.
In the rurals, you can be far from that. But I think you just have your own car.
And we're talking about an average person.
Yes, an average
Not
person can
everyone
own a car.
afford. Yeah, you were talking about rurals. Everyone.
But if you guys have a car, you can just skip that.
Okay. A point that I would also like to bring is that you have easier access to banking and financial services when you are in town. In the rurals, there's no bank or anything.
There's education.
There's no education, babe.
No, there's education in the rurals.
In the rurals?
Yes.
Where?
At the Great Point. You have to travel to the
There's no bank here.
If you are living in Komrambi, then you get a bank.
Like, Komrambi is no longer in rural. That's now a town. That is how it sounds. So don't talk about that one. Don't talk
So
about.
I think also the rural, you don't have to live too far away from town. I think.
That's how we've been to places. Remember, there are people that are like, how many kilometers? 60 k's, 100 k's from
From
town.
town, imagine
Oh, that's road.
that would be too much, guys. I won't suggest you guys to live 100 kilometers away from
Because
town. That would be too much.
for us, we are not that far from town. We're like 27 kilometers away from town, so we don't feel it.
Mm.
But then there are people who are
Less than 30 minutes you're in town,
exactly.
and then someone would spend 2 hours going to their house.
Exactly.
That's too much. That's
So-
really too much. But the option of having your own transport makes things better, guys. Honestly.
But even if you're having your own transport, imagine traveling 1 hour here to get to
I said that other places, like that place we
fuel
went to,
consumption.
it will consume a lot of fuel.
Especially now that fuel is like
Very expensive.
very expensive. So, my friend, you must think wisely. Okay, let's say overall, right? There are pros and cons of living in town.
Mm-hmm.
Just the same with rural life. But then, rural life, I feel like now has more advantages because
I think what I can say is that it depends on who the person is. If you're a student, maybe
you would want to be in town.
Mhm.
If you're working
in town, you want to be in town.
yeah.
If you're someone who wants to live comfortably, where there is peace, rural can be better.
Because the life is very slow, guys. Like there are days where I just feel so frustrated because I was used to the fast life, to the city life. So there are days where things are just slow. You
Sometimes you can even forget what date it is. What's
honestly
the day
speaking,
it is?
very slow.
Sometimes you forget if it is weekend or not.
Yeah. But what I like also is that we are connected to the internet, so at least we are always
Access
in
to
the
the
know
exposure and all
of
that.
what is trending, what is the new technology, what is
Exactly.
happening, and all of that. At least we're not that behind in terms of the trends and all of those things. But yeah, when you're used to fast life, it's really hard. Because when I was in Cape Town, I could be selling my perfumes, or there's just some form of thing you do to get money,
And also, even though we are in the rurals, guys, I'm proud to be in your TV. From the rural, we are in your TV. So that
Exactly.
means that rural life can be a good thing still.
Yeah, it can be. So, yeah, I feel like both things have the advantages and disadvantages. But overall, I feel like rural life is good. But then what I would advise is that if you're going to do the rural life thing, at least own a property in town. Work on getting a property in town just for the sake of having an asset.
They're both.
Yeah, having an asset that one day maybe you want to sell that asset, or you leave it to your kids or whoever or whatever,
And also-
or even I don't know about putting tenants in the place.
Yeah, it works for other people.
It works for other people. That way you know that if some
Generating
farming fails or whatever, you always have money to buy food or whatever you need to be getting.
Honestly, there's another thing that I just want to let people know. The richest people in the country have rurals that they are developing.
Exactly.
That says a lot. Those people have houses in town. The president himself
There's a whole farm.
has a very big farm where he's always there. They even say like he's there every week. He's there. He's at the farm. He's doing his farming. So if those big people that have money,
Remember
in the
Jacob
country,
Zuma? He built a whole village thing or whatever he did when he was still in power. So they know what they're doing.
they know the whole town. They own properties in town, but still
To still have invests.
they invest in the rurals, and they're still farming. So I think, and the other thing that I just want to say, guys, I feel like us as Africans, it's a must. I feel like it's a must to love farming. Why? There's this thing that most of us have in our mindset, like we have this kind of mindset of like just thinking that farming is a bad thing, and we love things that people from outside brought to us. We feel like that is the best type of lifestyle, living in town and all that. And we don't realize that there are still some of those people who brought that technology and all that. Some of them, they are still in farming. They're even coming to Zimbabwe. Like, people from those Westerners, like those British people who came to colonize us here in Africa. They are still, they wanted the land and they wanted to use it for farming. Some of them, they are still doing farming. They're here. And some of us, we feel like it's better to be here.
Yeah.
But them, they are moving from that lifestyle coming their side. Some, they even love the climate a
Very
lot.
much, especially Marondera's climate.
Mhm.
Guys, we see a lot of I don't want to say white people, but we do see a lot of them, white farmers and stuff.
People
all
from
around us.
outside, yes.
People from outside, they are here because they love the climate, number one. They see that there's a lot of potential in the land, in the soil. The soil is fertile and all of that. So they make use of this soil, and you guys, we even have it for free. I'm sure everyone in your family, your father, whoever has a whole big piece of land that is not being used by you, because you guys are the kids or whoever. You're supposed to be developing that land or doing something on that farmland. Us, we have a big piece of land because my grandparents were like suburbs, headmen, right? So headmen, they are like their side is basically the village side. Ours is plots. So those people have like big pieces of land there, and I can say that it's not really being utilized to its maximum potential.
Exactly. That
And
is true.
even at when we went to Guera, did you see that they have like also a
Very big.
large piece of land, which is not really being utilized properly. And whatever they are planting there, I don't think it's things that are supposed to be planted in that specific region. I feel like if they had found like a specific crop that that would work in that specific region, they would be making money from that. So I don't think any land is useless. It's just
That is
you
true.
doing research and finding out what exactly can I do with this land? What exactly can I plant in this land? What exactly can I do to make this land productive? Yeah.
I think that is very true, honestly, guys. Let's not forget our rurals. Let's try to do something, and let's not do it with pressure or anything. Do it when you can, and don't be pressured by anyone.
Don't be pressured by
And
us.
also, guys, don't.
We don't
be-
want you to come and cry.
The other thing, the other thing that is very important. This point, take it wherever you are going to be. Make sure that you keep it on your mind. Don't be taken away by what you see on the internet the most. Some of it, you try things that you have seen someone succeeding with, and you think that you just do it and it will be a success. You might fail. Why? Because some people have a lot of experience. Experience and things that we see on the book is something different, honestly.
Exactly.
Like some of these things, some of these projects that people are building, it takes years for them just to be successful.
Exactly.
It doesn't just happen overnight. It's not because you have money you can just go and start a project and become successful. You can pour $100,000 here on a farm and it fails,
Exactly.
and you lose all that money after you worked for it. Most of us guys here, I know we don't even work for over $10,000 a month. So imagine you put $100,000 on a project, thinking that it just needs money. I just need to have money. Money is needed, but also some experience is needed. It's either you work with people that have a lot of experience in the
don't have
field.
the experience. Get people who have the experience.
Yes.
That's what we are doing.
Yes, help people with a lot of experience in the field, and also yourself. Don't really expect too much. Too much expectations will lead you into disappointments. You end up getting disappointed. I thought I could get this and that, and then you end up getting disappointed. So we highly suggest that, guys, if in some of the projects, if you know that like your pocket is not enough, it's not good enough, start small and
Build from
grow
there.
and see what works and what doesn't work, so that you'll become a successful person in those projects over time with experience. I think we've shared a lot, right?
Yeah, we have, guys. Thank you so much. See you on the next one, guys. If you're new, please do subscribe. If you're an old subscriber, a returning subscriber, if you're part of the training family, please do like, share, and leave a comment.
Yes. Are you guys choosing to live in the rural? Or are you guys gonna live wherever you are forever? If you're in South Africa, are you going to live in South Africa forever? If you're in the UK, are you going to stay in the UK forever? Or if you're in America, are you going to live there forever? Or you guys are building or you're doing something. And we want to visit and see your projects, guys. Please invite us at your projects. We want to be motivated also to do better. Because you know what? Here there's not really much project that others are doing. And we need that motivation from your side. We would also love to visit your farm and see what you're doing. Much appreciated, guys. Thanks so much for watching this one.
Thank you.
See you on the next one. Bye-bye.